The ketogenic diet. Some of the best athletes in the world swear by it, and others have blamed it for ruining their careers. But now that we've had more than a decade of research on it, what does science say about the most important question? Will a high-fat, low-carb keto diet make you faster on the bike? We dug into the science so that you don't have to. Let's go. The main reason that any diet gains traction is its promise of weight loss. Are keto diets an effective weight management strategy for cyclists? In 2018, Gomez, Arbeles and colleagues looked at the impact of the keto diet on weight loss and resting metabolic rate in 20 obese patients. The participants followed a low-calorie ketogenic diet for 2 years. After just 4 months, the participants lost 20.2 kilograms of body weight, and they managed to sustain it. Not only did they sustain it, they did so without the expected reduction in resting metabolic rate. Perhaps best of all for us cyclists, only 1 kilogram of the weight loss came from muscle mass. Weight management, retention of lean mass, and you can keep the oven burning hot? It sounds like the perfect combination to increase your power to weight ratio, right?
But wait! There's more!
Proponents of the keto diet in endurance sports explain that even the leanest athlete has an abundance of fat stored in their body, in comparison to the limited carbohydrate we can store in our muscles and liver. By becoming a fat-burning, ketogenic-powered machine, you could avoid the performance implications associated with emptying your carbohydrate stores. This all sounds appealing, right? In theory, yes. But until recently, there wasn't much in the way of rigorous scientific research to support its use in competitive sports. So now, over a decade since its explosion into popular culture, does that theory transfer into faster cycling? In 2017, Dr. Louise Burke and colleagues took on the challenge of investigating the impact of the ketogenic diet in elite race walkers while they were at a 3-week training camp. In one condition, the race walkers consumed a high-fat ketogenic diet for 3 weeks. This consisted of 75 to 80% of calories coming from fat, 15 to 20% coming from protein, and less than 50 grams of carbohydrates a day. Another group ate a diet consisting of 60 to 65% of calories coming from carbohydrate, 15 to 20% coming from protein, and 20% from fat. How did the ketogenic diet impact performance? The athletes eating a ketogenic diet did see a big increase in fat oxidation. That checks out. And there was an improvement in peak aerobic capacity in all groups. But when it came to performance, even after 3 weeks of intensified training and a resulting increase in aerobic capacity, the athletes on the ketogenic diet didn't see any improvements in performance during a 10K race. Whereas the athletes eating a higher carbohydrate diet following the same training program improved their 10K race performance by 6.6%. Why did the physiological adaptations not translate into improved 10K performance in the athletes eating a ketogenic diet? Reduced exercise economy. Shifting your metabolism from using carbohydrates to fats increases the oxygen cost of producing energy, meaning that for the same oxygen uptake, there's less energy produced to fuel the work required. So if 2 athletes have the same VO2 max and one is on the ketogenic diet, this athlete will use more oxygen in the conversion of fat into usable energy, compared to the other athlete converting carbohydrates into usable energy. Therefore, less energy will be delivered to the muscles to fuel exercise, resulting in an increased perception of effort and heart rate, and a decreased performance. The same has been found in running and cycling. But here's where it gets really interesting. The performance implications associated with the decreased economy are only observable at higher intensities, when oxygen uptake becomes a limiting factor to performance. In 2019, Shaw and colleagues found that the ketogenic diet had no impact on exercise economy below the sweet spot zone, but above the sweet spot zone, the ketogenic diet significantly impaired exercise economy. So are there any circumstances in which the ketogenic diet could be beneficial to endurance athletes? If using fat as fuel allows an athlete to be less reliant on a constant supply of carbohydrates throughout a race, a ketogenic diet may appeal to the athlete who struggles to consume food during a race, whether that be for logistical reasons or due to GI issues. However, as the research has shown, the ketogenic diet doesn't allow you to access that final gear that you need to be competitive in almost all cycling disciplines. Even during the arduous and enduring grand tours that cover over 3,000 kilometers in 3 weeks, the intensity gets too high for cyclists to be able to compete on a high-fat diet. In 2018, Sanders and colleagues found that on every type of stage in the 2016 Giro d'Italia, the cyclist's heart rate peaked between 173 and 184 beats per minute. So even for the longest and most enduring cycling events, you almost always need that ability to move into that final fast gear to be successful. Beyond not being able to move into that final gear, are there any other risks that an athlete should consider before switching to a ketogenic diet? Potentially. In 2019, Mackay and colleagues found that chronic adherence to a ketogenic diet modifies iron metabolism in elite athletes. Likewise, the same author found that low carbohydrate availability might be more problematic than low energy availability for an endurance athlete's iron and immune response. However, this study was conducted on athletes who were not adapted to a ketogenic diet, so more research is needed. As always, our performance is not as simple as an X plus Y equals equation. We have to consider the implications to our health and longevity to fully understand the long-term impact on our performance. If you want to reap the rewards of your training, current research suggests that the ketogenic diet is not for you. However, food is not merely fuel. If you have other reasons for following a ketogenic diet,
I think I'm in love.
such as pleasure, that's totally okay. And individuals will respond differently to nearly every diet out there. So some people will do better than others following a ketogenic diet. But if getting faster is your top priority and you want to ensure it happens, sign up to TrainerRoad and eat those carbs.